Speaking with Regina Ham from RT America Sports HQ. Hey, Regina, after a 2020 season of cardboard fans and fake crowd noise, they are once again singing Sweet Caroline at a packed Fenway Park, which I love, but the game is different. I never liked that change a couple of years ago about the intentional walk. Make the pitcher throw 4 times. Anything could happen. And now there are new rules that they say we're trying out about how many hitters a pitcher must face, how short, how few innings a game can go. How are these changes that they're experimenting with working out?
You know, it's all under the guise of let's speed up the game, because you and I know, Holland, we're baseball fans. The game can inherently be a little long sometimes, but they're trying out these rules in 2021. Some of them have come from the 2020 shortened season, if you will. And so there are about 5 ones I kind of want to talk about. There's no universal designated hitter. We're going to go back to the fact that in AL ballparks, you know, the designated hitter is the only one's going to be there, and National League will let the pitchers hit, which if you're a National League girl like I am, we love to see it. We're also going to see that the rules implemented in 2 of them that are from 2020. The doubleheaders are down to 7 innings, again, to cut the speed of the game. We've recently had a couple of rainouts here in D.C. You've had to have those 7-inning doubleheaders. It works. It's not always favorable. If you're a baseball fan, you want those 9 innings. The extra innings rule is also very interesting. You have players that will start on second base if you go to extra innings. And the 9th hitter in that lineup will be placed at second base. Like if you have someone who's like Mike Trout, you want to see that. But if it's someone, you know, like Didi Gregorius, who's doing well but not, you know, a powerhouse, you're kind of like, ooh, I don't know how I feel about that. We also have roster sizes increasing due to COVID-19, and clubs are allowing taxi squads of 5 players that are, you know, allowed to have reinforcements in the event of injuries in COVID-19. And so the game is changing, Holland. The game you and I love is changing. But what is interesting is there's one area where it's changing that might be for the better, and that is ball tampering. We've had some issues in the past 2 or 3 months where there have been issues of players bringing in foreign substances. So Major League Baseball has been investigating this. They've sent some balls and some gloves to third-party labs to test see if they're using pine tar or other substances to, you know, enhance the game, if you will. Now, there have been 2 examples I want to talk about. May 26th, you had umpire Joe West. He confiscated the hat of St. Louis Cardinals receiver Giovanni Gallegos on the suspicion that it had a foreign substance. The guy kept touching his hat, and they're like, ooh, I don't know how I feel about that. He wasn't injected, but he wasn't punished either. June 1st, Chicago White Sox announcer and former big league pitcher Steve Stonewall, he observed during a broadcast that Cleveland reliever James Karinchak appears to be doctoring the ball because he had a black substance on, get this, a red glove, which not the smartest decision, Holland. That's not the best idea. So what they're concerned about is that these players are using these substances. You even have one where there was a Yankees pitcher, he's kept touching his neck. The umpire went and touched himself, did one of these, and was like, this is a substance we can't have, you're ejected. So you're seeing these rules implicated. In the MLB, you know, at their managers meeting, they're going to talk about this. Now, if it happens retroactively back to March or April, they're not going to punish them, but they will be on a watch list, if you will. So umpires will have this list like, hey, maybe you should watch out for Trevor Bauer. He keeps doing some sketchy stuff.
You know, you are not old enough to have seen Gaylord Perry play, but you got to go find him on YouTube. That whole ritual he went through freaked out everybody. I'm with you in terms of the DH thing. The late, great Joe Garagiola said, people don't go to the park to watch the manager think. He liked the DH for the run production. But having grown up in the American League part of the country, I am fascinated by the National League game because I enjoy watching the manager think. I enjoy Joe Madden pitching the hitting the pitcher in the 8th position. And as our dear departed chum Larry King famously opined, baseball is the only sport where the defense controls the ball and no 2 games are ever the same.